Welcome back to Pete and Jeremy's DnDTime. This is game 2 this evening, an adventure I've entitled To Burgle a Burgle. But before we dive into that adventure, I want to give everyone who's watching just a bit of context. So, throughout the lands of DnDTime, a very powerful and benevolent, for the most part, wizard by the name of Bartholomew sends adventurers out to solve people's problems and overall, despite the occasional evil acts by his group, make the world a better place. Over time, adventurers' renown of their actions and their great deeds spread throughout the lands so that everyone, young and old, tall and small, learn of their endeavors. And by the time a character reaches a certain threshold, the mythic level of adventuring within Bartholomew's company, it comes to the point where just about everybody knows who they are. And they're something of a celebrity. And so as we start tonight's adventure, we settle in to the Pazetree-Bluebeads Orphanage. It's a part of Chateau Bluebeads, which is a large spiraling tree keep within the Feywild, which is ruled over by Anadoltia, one of Bartholomew's mythic adventurers. Except we're not at really the big part of the tree with its grand wide body and cotton candy leaves above. Instead, we settle into a small nook off the northwest corner where a large tree root grows out. Little door has been carved into it where this orphanage is currently built. You four are going to be playing characters from that orphanage that are absolutely enamored with your respective characters. So, Euchaunkas Ouwoupli, off the top, you are a lizard, like Euchaunkas Ouwoupli is a lizard folk. And he is a cleric of the great big cloud. Would you like to tell us a little bit more about Euchaunkas, things that the orphan that you'll be playing would want to emulate? And tell me about your orphan too. I want to hear who Euchaunkas is and what this orphan finds so appealing about the character, about the hero, their hero Euchaunkas. And then I also want to know about your orphan, just a couple quick things.
Right. Well, Euchaunkas, high priest of the great big cloud, spreader of his grand message, slayer and destroyer of heretics, eater of people. And I think these are all the things that this orphan really loves, because of course the orphan is, a proud follower of the cloud. Of course. You'd have
they always been, or were they converted by just knowing of the great deeds of Euchaunkas?
I mean, they converted. They learned about Euchaunkas and then converted to the proper religion.
I see. And what is so who is this orphan child? They love that Euchaunkas eats people and slaughters people that disagree with him. Yes. Apparently, this is a very, very, very dark Fey orphan. The darker side of the Feywild, I guess, got into them a little bit. Tell me, what are they? Are they also a lizard folk in the same way that Euchaunkas?
Yes. Oh, okay. They're a lizard folk.
There are all sorts of different races and peoples that can be found in this orphanage, right? Any number of different creature type of humanoid can be found here. So there are, I think, absolutely lizard folks, albeit probably a very small minority, maybe just one. Excellent. So they're just excited. They're just excited to, I guess, to be their hero for the day. All right. Othgarurt, along a similar line, you're also lizard folk. Othgarurt Charirgix, the Lord of Bone. You're kind of renowned throughout the lands of DnDTime for both your physical prowess, but also your attention to detail, your craftsmanship, and kind of your passion and understanding of of the world and the earth at large. Are these the kind of things that your orphan really loves about Othgarurt? Is there anything else about Othgarurt that, like, in particular, this person would have really latched onto in hearing all of Othgart's all the great stories about Othgarurt?
I feel like this orphan would have a bit of a misunderstanding about Othgarurt, actually.
Oh, really?
More latching onto the notion of him being the kind of guy that is strong enough to break other people's things and then make his own better things.
So it's like, that's a nice toy you have there. I'm gonna break it and make something even better out of it. Is it like that? So your orphan's kind of a bully.
A little bit of an obnoxious
bully.
Individual.
Excellent, and I love so. Tell me a little bit about this orphan. I mean, what are they? Are they another lizard folk like the orphan that really loves Euchaunkas, or
they're a gnome?
Oh, they're a gnome. Are they big and strong like Othgarurt, or do they just pretend to be big and strong like Othgarurt?
They want to be big and strong. They are little and not strong, but
I love it. I love it. And just as a record, think about if you want to give your orphan a name, feel free to do so, or you can just play using your character's normal names throughout the day. Delightful. I love it, Othgarurt. Zewxip, our next hero. Zewxip is a florin, a plant folk of sorts, specifically in the form of oh my goodness, the dragon. It's not called dragon flower. Snapdragon. The brain, it eluded me for a moment. Zewxip's also, of course, a proficient sorceress, I think is the correct term now, that is especially known for their key enlarge, is kind of their signature move, or reduce in some cases. Zewxip, tell me a little bit about this orphan that has become enamored with the stories of Zewxip and perhaps their dragon companion.
Well, this is another Zewxip.
Oh, oh, beautiful! So, is it just a very small Zewxip?
Yeah. So this is one of the many Zewxips that have been planted across the lands, and I guess whoever was around, maybe if this Zewxip was gifted to someone else. Oh, you know who it probably was? That elf who was struck out living on his own in the apartment. Couldn't take care of his own kitchen. Couldn't take care of a houseplant.
You're probably right, and ended up in the Feywild through a Fey crossing somewhere.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I bet this is the Zewxip that was left there to try and teach him to grow his own crops, and he wouldn't listen, and just it was better for this Zewxip to try and find a life elsewhere other than to be saddled by this spoiled elf. Oh boy, the name escapes me.
Oh, Tedrelathir.
Yes, Tedrelathir.
So, a quick question about this Zewxip. So, Zewxip being a plant can basically just reproduce by breaking off a piece of themselves, and then that grows into a new Zewxip. And so that's where this Zewxip came from. But what does this Zewxip like about the Zewxip? Or I'm sorry, about Zewxip.
It would have to be the individuality to it, because the Zewxip Prime is singular. The other Zewxips are all a we Zewxip. They are all Zewxips, but none of them are the Zewxip. And so this would be, kind of if it's a hero style meetup, it's, you're the one. You are like Zewxip Prime. Maybe when I grow up and, I be big and strong like you, I can also attain individuality.
So its individuality is like the real key that Zewxip is going for here.
That's the true magic. Anyone can sling spells in the lands of DnDTime, but to be yourself, that's something only you can do.
That's very true. This is a very introspective, deep young orphan here at the orphanage. And last but and of course thanks and welcome everybody for to the game, and thank you all for playing. But of course, last but certainly not least, we have Anadoltia Bluebeads. Anadoltia, you obviously rule over the kingdom of Pazetree here in the Feywild, which is where Chateau Bluebeads is, and therefore the Bluebeads pastry, the Pazetree-Bluebeads Orphanage that everyone's currently living in. And I think that you treat this place very, very well. Obviously, you protect these orphans like they're your own children. But speaking of your own children, you do have 3 of your own adopted children that live in Chateau Bluebeads. I imagine spent quite a bit of time hanging out down in the orphanage, and those are Gina, Nina, and Tina. So do you want to tell us a thing or two, Anadoltia, about Gina, Nina, and Tina?
Well, Gina is more of the tomboy of the bunch. She doesn't really like get into the girly girl and the makeup or anything like that. She would rather just wrestle around with the boys and like roughhouse and all that, get into some fight.
Mm-hmm.
Nina is the girly girl. She pretty much acts like a princess all the time, loves collecting dolls and plushies and other similar girly stuff. She's like the one that looks up to Anadoltia the most. And then there's Tina, who is pretty much the shy little bookworm of the group. She's she knows a little bit of magic at her young age. It's just a simple cantrip, but even then, like she has shown astounding intelligence just for a little 6-year-old.
And of course, all 3 of them are little tabaxi.
Yes, they're all little tabaxi, have a little bit of a ruddy brown fur with just like tan, just like a little tan skin.
Lovely. And so you've all gathered for playtime here in the orphanage. One of the other orphans by the name of Theodore, although he prefers to be called Theodorandorus because he thinks it's a much better name for a big, powerful wizard like him, has greeted you, gathered together. Greetings, adventurers! Oh, I'm sorry. Greetings, adventurers! Are you ready for your mission today?
Yes, Bartholomew.
Good. Well, something terrible has happened. Anadoltia has been kidnapped.
What?
Yeah, there's a bunch of gasps from some of the other orphans around in the orphanage as they all kind of gather close. Yes, a terrible monster called the Burgle has stolen her because technically she's a doll, so he can do that, I think. That's how monsters work, right? There's some muttering of approval from the other children here. Anyhow, you 4 are my greatest adventurers, and you must go to the top of the
Mountain?
House. Yeah, the mountain. Go to the top of the mountain and get her back.
Which mountain?
The big candy mountain, of course. And they point upwards, implying it's the roof of the building.
I hate the big candy mountain.
Well, good. That's where the monster went. The Burgle.
The quick question on just the part of the player. Who am I playing exactly?
So, Frog, you are playing, and I'm making this hard on you. I apologize. I just have given you a new character sheet that you can look at. You're playing Gina, Nina, and Tina.
All of them.
So I've given them a character sheet. Functionally, anything Anadoltia can do, the triplets can pretend to do. They basically just function as one character in combat. They also have a couple of extra little abilities that you can read up on.
All right, thank you.
No problem. And of course, they each come with their own little blink dog companion. The flash corgi Marmaduke, the shifted whippet Marmamama, and the ethereal mastiff Marmalade. But yes, Bartholomew looks at you all. Anyhow, I can't teleport you all the way there because of evil magic is stopping me. So you must venture to the top of the mountain all yourselves. Are you ready?
What do you girls think? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, good. Go. And your adventure begins. Currently, you're standing just in the well, in one of the open rooms of the orphanage. I imagine there are some toys just kind of lying around. Frog, would it be wrong for me to say this is a wooden structure? Because it's built into a tree, right?
It's a wooden structure. It might have some stone pieces, but they're just a little minor, like for decoration.
Yeah, precisely. And I imagine it's almost grown in such a way. I mean, there's some planked floorboards, but the walls, I imagine, are pretty smooth. Except for where people have, or kids have scraped stuff into them because kids. But yes. Where would you like to go? Do you want to make your way out and start to make your way up to the roof of the building? And who's going to lead the way?
Well, Gina, Nina, and Tina will probably be conversing among themselves about what they should bring with them. There's anything that would probably help to save their mama, and wondering why Mama Sugar had to go to Pazetree all of a sudden.
Weird, conspicuous timing. Okay, so Gina, Nina, and Tina are running around trying to just find things. And just gathering quote unquote supplies. I imagine there's a blanket that's rolled up. This is my 50 feet of rope. What are the rest of you up to? Where do we see Euchaunkas?
Attract.
What?
Attract.
Attribution?
Attract.
I have no idea what she's saying, my dude.
Attract.
Oh, Attribution. That's the name of the orphan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what do we see with Attribution?
Oh, I'm getting my holy symbol.
Oh, what is this makeshift holy symbol you have?
Oh no, it's a real holy symbol.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know where I got it, but I've got
somehow Attribution has acquired a dangerous item for potential clerics. Okay, so you're recovering. I imagine you're lifting up a floorboard and you're pulling it out because you get the feeling that maybe Anadoltia wouldn't have wanted you to have a real holy symbol of the great big cloud in here. All right, Othgarurt. Where do we see the orphan who loves Othgarurt? Our little gnome.
Bobbit is getting his most prized possession out from under his bed frame.
Uh-huh.
Because of course he can't go adventuring without wearing this skull he randomly found in the woods on his head, so that he looks more like his hero.
I love it. So is it like a fox skull that he found out in the woods somewhere, or is this something more like whimsy and fey kind of? Is this actually a really cool skull?
It's a weird sort of long-faced skull. It's a bit unclear what kind of animal it could have come from, because it has some canine qualities around the jaw, but it also has some horse or deer-like qualities around most of the facial structure.
Oh God. Well, all right. Yeah, so you have this really terrifying skull, Bobbit, that you've got, and how do you wear it? Have you tied something to the back so you can wear it like a mask?
Yes.
Or is it big enough that it just fits completely over your head?
It fits halfway over his head, and he has to tie it to make it not slide around.
Excellent. So as you kind of get your bearings a little bit, I imagine a little wobbly with this big heavy thing hanging off the front of your face. Some of the other children laugh ha ha, but then as you turn at them and they're looking at us oh God, right? It's pretty spooky. Zewxip, where's Zewxip? Oh, that's so much easier.
Zewxip is out in the yard, and seeing that Zewxip carries a basket with treats that she normally gives to her friends, our little orphan Zewxip is going to be collecting some treats and putting it in a picnic basket. And so as she's out in the yard, she's going to get, some clumps of dirt, maybe a mushroom or something, and a couple of the choicest leavings by the guard dogs that are bred here.
Yeah. Well, I will say, those are delightful foods for a Zewxip. That's absolutely true. There are a lot of foods that grow naturally here. A lot of the flora of the Big Rock Candy Mountains has actually been brought to the Kingdom of Papetree, where it kind of grows naturally. That being said, you get what you like, which is dirt and dog crap, being a plant. So you've gathered this all up in a little basket, and Anadoltia, is there anything in particular? I'm sorry, not Anadoltia. Gina, Nina, and Tina. Is there anything in particular that you have picked up for your adventure?
Gina's picked up what could be described as like the rope. Nina, going through all like their little dollies and whatnot, they find one that looks vaguely like it could pass for a little goblin. Tina, however, being the smart one, has a bunch of like crocheted thread that's just acting as a net.
Oh, excellent. So you gather up all your materials and you meet at the front door here to the Pazetree-Bluebeads Orphanage. You're outside, the air is fresh and clean. As you look upwards, you see the kind of, I imagine it's almost like a swirling, colorful sky above the orphanage. But you see...
It's pretty much like what the rest of the Feywild would have, just twilight skies.
Ah, beautiful. It's beautiful twilight skies above. I imagine you can just barely see well, you probably see the stars pretty clearly through the twilight, even though it is fairly light. But yes, you also see the pink cap top, which is shaped almost like the top of a cupcake. Like is the cotton candy foliage, which is the top of this tree fortress. It's really high up there. You're gonna have to like go into the chateau proper and like get up to a higher floor and probably crawl out a window to get to one of the branches up that high, because like you guys can't climb that high. It's way too far.
Yeah.
So as you gather together, who's going to lead the way into the chateau? And are you guys talking about anything for your journey and your plans?
I'll assume like Gina, Nina, and Tina lets know that everything they brought will be used for and whatnot.
Okay. So Gina, Nina, and Tina are talking to you all about this is the net, and this is this is this other thing I brought, and all this different stuff. Is anyone else showing off their special treasures?
Atuak is not showing off his treasure, but he is saying,
If I worship the cloud, none of this will be happening.
There's no bones in the cloud. You can't worship the cloud because there's no bones in it. You gotta have bones for stuff.
It doesn't need bones.
Here you go. We picked the freshest. And she's gonna open up the picnic basket and offer mushrooms, grass clods, and dog dew to everyone.
Yeah, Gina, Nina, and Tina like just back up really, really quick.
They're just like, they're not interested.
Oh, I'm good. None of that is me.
So sorry, I can't eat with the mask on, so I'm just gonna not do that.
Oh, you're lost. Our gain.
Yum, yum, yum. I imagine like when Atuak is like, no meat in that. We smash cut to Atuak's bedroom, and like there's a floorboard that if you pull up, there's just all the broccoli for like a year stuffed under it. But regardless, you'll begin to make your way forward. Is Othgarurt? It sounds like Bobbit is kind of the strong, like want to be the tough guy. Is he taking the lead?
He wants to be the tough guy, but it's really hard to take the lead in this mask. He's not sure that he can actually see where to go very well.
Okay, beautiful. So he's kind of like, he's having a bit of a hard time. And maybe like, let's see, maybe Gina takes the lead. Gina's kind of a tough one.
Yeah.
So Gina, riding atop her flash corgi, which is a subspecies of blink dog.
Yeah, she can't ride on top of it because it's a corgi.
Well, she's very small, right?
not small enough to ride on top of the
not,
corgi.
not quite small enough.
They're all just right on top of Marmalade.
Oh, right. Excellent. So I guess the corgi and the whippet just run up ahead, and the rest of them ride ahead on the large ethereal mastiff. But yeah, you enter into Chateau Pazetree-Bluebeads. Anadoltia, I mean, Frog, what is like the interior decor of like one of the first hallways that you would enter in? What do the hallways look like in this place? Are they very large and like kind of arching? Are they like naturally grown wood?
There's actually a little bit of both. Plus, a little bit of the decor will be of a magenta, white, silver, gold. There might be like at the very end of the at least right above the way into the main hallway, there's going to be a big portrait of Anadoltia, Sugar, and Nina, and Tina.
Excellent. So the hallway is a pretty like naturally grown. It's like purple heart woods, and I imagine different colored woods that are naturally like grown into the walls and everything.
Yeah, and one side of the walls is like a little cupboard, and within it is a little golden red cap that is just has a little name tag on it, and right on a little plaque under it says, "No fake tax collectors allowed."
Oh boy, red cap head mounted on the wall. Yikes. Well, that's okay. None of you understand that probably, or you all do. But you push your way forward, making your way through the place. For the most part, I mean, there's no issue with any of you being in here. You come here all the time. Albeit if they found out you were trying to go to the upper levels to sneak out onto the roof, that'd be bad. And so there's a modicum of discretion that you're trying to pull off as you're making your way through here. And of course, Theodorandalis is also following you. He's a little dragonborn, by the way, who's playing Bartholomew. He's got a big fake beard that he's tied around his face. And he goes, well, you have to be careful not to get spotted. If you get slowed down for even a minute by the bystanders, it could be too much. And so as you're walking forward, you begin to hear voices and hear footsteps from up ahead. What would you all like to do? There's clearly someone that's kind of turned the corner and probably see you. There are a couple like rooms on the side of this hallway that you could maybe duck off into, or you do have access to your entire suite of spells and abilities because you can pretend to cast these. So what's your plan as you start hearing people coming around that you need to avoid?
Okay.
Okay, Achua declares he must kill them.
No, it doesn't have to come to that. If we know where we're going, I can create a distraction.
Yeah, Gina, Nina, Tina just looks at the other and says, "Y'all stay back," and the other two agree, and they just move forward, just like appearing like as cute as can be, just waiting for someone to come around.
Your plan, if I understand this correctly, Frog, is going to be to try and distract them.
Distract them just for a moment. They Tina actually has a plan set in motion already. So she I guess to be fair, just saying that Tina is like readying something to do when they start talking to someone.
Okay, you're readying like effectively a spell kind of deal, readying an action.
Yes.
Okay. Euchaunkas, I'm sorry, Achuak, what are you doing?
Well, if they've got it, I go hide in the side room.
Oh, okay. I thought it sounded like you were also readying a spell.
Not quite.
Oh boy. Oh no. All right. All right. Bobbit, what do you want to do?
Bobbit accidentally kind of walks underneath an end table, but ends up in a position where he's a bit harder to spot. So
beautiful.
He's hiding, but not intentionally.
I love it. And Zewxip, what was your move?
I'm going to prepare a fog cloud in case we need to get some cover and dash out of it.
I love it. All right, can we get a stealth check from you, Bobbit, and actually from you as well, Achuak, because you're now in the other room. And yes, as you're all just kind of like hiding or getting ready for whatever, a few doll-bound walk around the corner. You can see they are doll-like constructs. These ones are wearing armor, actually. Something that you probably don't see super often. I imagine it's like a porcelain armor. And they have the regalia of what are known as the collective figures of action, which are kind of a doll-bound military force here within the city of Pazetree. These are obviously, guards for the house. But yeah, they walk up and they see you. They see Nina and Tina, right? Who are trying to execute.
Yeah, just all of them just trying to act cute. They look like they're like trying to play around right now, like playing tag, like they usually do.
Okay, and what's the goal here? What are you trying to do? Just convince them that you're not doing anything that you shouldn't be doing?
Pretty much.
Okay, can you make a performance check? It sounds like that's what you're doing. You're doing a performance here.
All right. 1 second. I'm gonna. I guess I have to use.
They would use your stats. Don't ignore any stats on the character sheet I gave you. You're gonna use your stats.
Give me a second. I was trying to get to there.
Cool. All good. And
it's being slow.
Yeah, Roll20 can be like that. So the triplets start running around, being chaos. Playing tag, being just like totally out of character. They're no longer, brave heroes protecting and going to rescue Anadoltia. They're just kids having fun. And the doll-bound stop and they look down and they probably exchange a few words. Make sure not to track too much dirt into the house or whatever. And I imagine they glance over at Zewxip and the little basket that Zewxip's carrying and the like dirt and other stuff that's been like leaking out the bottom onto the ground. And they just kind of sigh and they just keep walking. They let you be no problem. They don't seem to notice you at all, Achuak. And they definitely don't notice, or at least you don't think they noticed you, Bobbit. However, Achuak, as you're hiding in this other room, you smell a smell. It's a smelly smell that smells. You hate it. At least you... Yeah, we're going to say you hate it. You've decided you hate this smell, and it's a smell that you know. This is a chocolate smell. And...
Gross.
Yeah, and as you kind of look around, Actually, do you have dark vision?
No.
Okay, see, no dark vision. You open the door back out of that closet as the doll-bound had passed. And as you do, all of you can see looming up behind Achuak. Achuak had gone into one of the snack closets, the many snack closets here in Chateau Pazetree-Bluebeads. And you see looming behind him a gigantic chocolate bunny rabbit. And I'd like you all to roll for initiative.
Okay.
As you now have to battle Mr. Snuffles. And I think it's declared by Theoranos that it is, and then a giant chocolate bunny attacks! All right. And you can tell Theorandorus was annoyed that you had evaded his trap with the guards, which is absolute. You think that's probably why he decided to send this bunny after you. He's one of those kind of dungeon masters.
Okay.
Okay, so Snuffles gets a 22. Oh, excellent. Bobbit, you got a 17. Zewxip. Achuak. I really made this hard for myself. Oh. All right. So it looks like the Snuffles rolled the highest. So Snuffles is going to hop out of the room and it's going to look at all of you, and it definitely notices you, Ochwok, and he's going to kick you. So it hops forward and makes a kick attack against, not Ochwok, I'm sorry, I meant Bobbit. Bobbit, does a 14 hit your armor class? Is what this giant chocolate rabbit says. Bobbit? Blood?
Sorry.
I know, it's easy.
The 22 would hit, 14 would not.
Okay, it's just the 14. The 22 was the initiative. So Mr. Snuffles hops out and goes to kick at you, laughing to himself, but is unable to connect. Bobbit, it's now your turn. This giant chocolate bunny rabbit hopped out of the room where Ochwok was hiding.
Bobbit seems upset that this sudden turn of events has sprung on them like this, and he's going to throw a temper tantrum and take off of his, not off of his back, but from behind him, this regular old femur with a wooden serving spoon tied to it with a lot of twine, and bonk at the chocolate frog.
I love it.
Chocolate bunny, sorry.
Chocolate rabbit. Yes. Beautiful. Oh my gosh! Bobbin, you nail it. Both of those are gonna hit.
Oh god.
Bobbit is pissed, apparently. A critical hit and an irregular hit. Go ahead and give me the damage on those guys.
Oh yeah, sorry.
You were toggling everything on. I gotcha.
Yeah, new crit mechanics. So I have to toggle extra stuff.
Oh right. Oh my goodness gracious! Holy moly! Oh jeez.
Yeah.
What does it come to total?
Too much.
That is 39. Plus the 6 and 7. Which is, ooh, damn.
55, 42, 62 damage?
52.
52.
Wait. 39. Yeah, 50.
Well,
That didn't
Bobbit.
even roll fully correctly, but I'm not gonna bother fixing the 1d10 that I'm missing.
With a loud scream of tantrum, Bobbit swings this contraption, which of course in Bobbit's eyes, he swings this massive bone halberd, which cleaves through this horrifying rabbit creature. Chocolate sprays everywhere, and it goes, ow, that hurt. Because that's what it does. Alrighty. Is there anything else you want to do? Or just that? You know, just two mighty swings.
Just two mighty swings and a feeling of success and pride on Bobbit's part as he feels a little bit more like his hero.
Absolutely. At the end of Bobbit's turn, we move to Zewxip. Zewxip, what would you like to do about this giant chocolate rabbit? I know you had a fog cloud ready. I'm sorry. Would you like to cast that, or?
No, the plan has changed.
Okay.
Mr. Snuffles, we think that you need to soften up.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no! You blast the giant chocolate rabbit with a fire bolt. And I'm wondering what this actually looks like versus like what Zewxip thinks this looks like. Or does Zewxip just cast firebolt?
No, this would be a collection of petals and other such things, maybe little scraps here and there. Kind of like, if any of you have ever been to like a fantasy LARP where you cast a spell and it's really just like a cheesecloth with some bird seed in it, she probably has her spells as like these little packets. So she takes this little like flowery red
beautiful.
packet and throws it at the rabbit.
Been siphoning sprinkles off of the ice cream at dessert time.
Yeah,
ready for your magic. I love it. Yeah, you absolutely hit. Go ahead and All right. Another 9 points of fire. However, I will tell you, it is vulnerable to fire, being a construct of chocolate.
That was my hope. And then Zewxip is gonna blow on a tendril.
Excuse me. All right. So yeah, your bolt of fire strikes at it, and I think in Zewxip's mind, right, it's this big blast of fire, but in real life it's just red sprinkles or whatever. And Mr. Snuffles is struck by the flame, and I'm melting. As it screams out in pain. The triplets, what would they like to do?
After their plan didn't really need the ready to action beforehand. What they decided to do in this case is just have Nina play the part of her Mama Anadoltia and just cast a cantrip of not chill touch, ray of frosting.
Oh, beautiful.
Of course, it's not actually ray of frosting. It's just like Nina pulls out a can of ice
can of like Cool Whip or whatever.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I love it. As you do that, of course, Theorandolus yells, you hit! Go ahead and give me your damage. You're gonna hit him for 13 cold, which, I mean, it's not bad against him, but it's not super effective, seemingly like the fire, as the frosting covers him.
I was gonna say then Nina probably pop in and says, "What happens when you super heat something and super cool? It just becomes brittle."
Theodorandolus looks is really.
Yeah. Tina just holds up one of the big books that she learned it.
Can you roll me a persuasion check?
Sure.
All right. Yeah, you persuade your dungeon master, and Theodorandolus goes, and then the leg shatters off, and one of its legs explodes. All right, Ouwoupli, it's your turn.
I run up to this foul creature nestle.
Die, fire flavor.
I just want to be your friend.
And I inflict wounds.
Oh, jeez. At what level?
Just level 1.
Oh, you'll hit him. Oh man, inflict wounds is such a scary spell. Oh my gosh. Oh.
These kids are going to grow up to be great Bartholomew's adventures.
All right. The inflict wounds. What does this look like to Ouwoupli, and what is actually happening? Or is it the same thing?
Oh, it's the same thing because he's got a holy symbol. He just actually inflicts wounds on whatever this thing is in reality.
Terrible necrotic energy just goes through the chocolate rabbit, and it begins to decay. It's like, in reality, right, there's a big chocolate rabbit back there that was meant to be, I don't know, like a piñata or something later, and it's just melting. It was hidden in the closet, it's just melting. But Theodorandolus looks at it and says, but the battle continues as it fights back even though it's melting! And it's going to try and kick you, Ouwoupli. And it rolls a kick attack, which won't roll for some reason. Roll20 is having a really hard time this evening, guys. Oh my goodness! It goes to kick you at 23 to hit.
Yep.
All right, you take 38 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh wait, I thought it lost one of its legs.
No, it's 43.
Oh, you're right, it has disadvantage. Let's see. All right, well. Oh, goodness.
Well, 14 would miss.
Yeah, okay, so it misses with the 14. And, all right, so you just, I guess what happens, it goes to kick you and the leg just comes off. So it goes to kick you and the leg just comes off and candy goes everywhere. is what Theodore Angelis narrates. Bobbit, it's your turn. You're looking like Bobbit is looking at this stuff, at this chocolate rabbit, which is just destroyed from the horrible necrotic energy that was just bumped into it. But Theodore Angelis describes, but it's still hanging on.
No, I don't want it to hang on. The stupid rabbit, go away.
Okay.
Tricks are for fairies.
All right. Oh, another crit. Holy crap. Yeah, I mean, Bobbit's really good at being Othgarurt, apparently. Go ahead and give me the damage as you very likely finish this thing off. Yeah, oh goodness, that was just the first one? Oh boy. Okay. Let's see, oh my goodness. All right, so less scary as him, only 31 damage from the crit. The rest of you see Bobbit just run in there and begin to just bludgeon this chocolate pinata to pieces. And I imagine Bobbit's just yelling the whole time.
He is yelling in a shrill, whiny voice that I do not care to attempt to replicate.
I appreciate that. Yeah, so you all see this chocolate pinata that had been hidden away is utterly obliterated. Mr. Snuffles, the chocolate rabbit, is no more. And you find yourselves once again just in Chateau Bluebeads proper. And what would y'all like to do?
Continue on. We have to rescue Anadoltia.
Yeah, continue on.
It looks like, now that you're looking through, Euchaunkas, you can see up ahead. I'm sorry, not Euchaunkas, Achuak. You know, now that you've noticed this is one of the candy caches here within the chateau, you know that up ahead must be the dining room. You go here sometimes to eat, but like, you know, the exact location of, you just don't remember that stuff. It's not important. But in this moment, you recognize, yes, the snacks are stored here. So clearly the dining room must be up ahead. If we cut through there, maybe that will help us get up higher. And so you all push ahead toward the dining room. You see, I imagine, a very, very large open room meant to seat many, many people, including all of the orphans of the orphanage here. I imagine there are many trophies along the wall celebrating Anadoltia's victories and triumphs, but yeah, it should just be a pretty straight walk across. Who wants to lead the way?
Yeah, Gina, them just like start kind of like not really full on dashing, like half dash.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna scoot ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. As you scoot ahead, I would like you to roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Ooh,
As you're making your way across the room, just kind of running around, one of you slips on the, or may slip. We'll see.
I try to see which of these I use. Do I use Anadoltia's or the twins? So
Yeah, you use Anadoltia's.
All right.
Yeah, always use Anadoltia stats. You don't use any of those stats in there. You just use their abilities if you want to. Yeah, so I think one of the triplets, I think, gets tripped up a little bit because the tablecloth, right, is like hanging off, and it gets pulled off and falls to the ground.
Oh no!
And there's a clattering. So there's a big bowl up there. Apparently, someone was eating something, and yeah, it just clatters to the ground with a crack. And Theodore Angelis runs up and he goes, "Oh no! Zewxip's right! This is terrible! Because now you've awakened," and he pulls back the cloth, "the oatmeal!" And I need you all to roll for initiative again. This time against the animated oatmeal. Okay. No, you could potentially just run past the animated oatmeal, but it looks like, Bobbit, you're ready to roll. What would you like to do against the animated oatmeal?
How long has it really been since we moved on from the closet area?
I mean, I don't know, not long, like a minute maybe.
Okay.
You're asking services, are you still raging?
I'm certain that I'm not, because I've just been not like hitting or.
Oh, right, yes. Yeah, probably about a minute. I mean, like, you just walk down the hallway. This is the next room.
He'll just, like, foolishly run forward, his skull hat mask kind of wobbling and bobbing as he darts in a straight line.
So you run up to the animated oatmeal. You can see it's a big plate of oatmeal, and it's just spilled all over the ground. But in Bobbit's eyes, right, it's like swelling up, and it's a giant, almost ooze-like oatmeal monster.
He's gonna trip, and his helmet is going to smash into the bowl of oatmeal.
Okay. The bite attack, I love it. Yeah, all of those will hit the animated oatmeal.
Only should be
has very low armor class. Huh?
Only should be 2 of them. I misclicked.
Oh, that's all good. Excuse me. Alrighty. You charge forward, biting the animated oatmeal twice. And you'll connect both times for 12 points of damage. And you see Theodorandolus like scratching his chin as he watches you attack the oatmeal. And he says, should I, is that double damage because it's biting?
Yes, definitely, because I'm cool. I bite stuff. Big jaw.
What kind of check would you like to make to convince Theodorandolus that your attack should do double damage because it's biting?
Probably performance. For all the good it'll do.
Sure. Yes. Theodorandolus says, of course, oatmeal is bad against biting. And, your bite seems super effective against this animated oatmeal. Is there anything else that you'd like to do, Bobbit?
I'm struggling not to break that.
So, as Bobbit's like laughing hysterically, I mean, in a rage, as I think what we're hearing, the triplets, what would you like to do?
The triplets see this animated oatmeal, and
clearly it's something left behind to prevent you from getting to the Burgle that kidnapped Anadoltia.
Yes, indeed, and more
I'm
more
sorry,
than like
the oatmeal.
Yes, the oatmeal, and
I see the change the music. Oh boy! Oh goodness!
Tina thinks, well, this is oatmeal. It is not supposed to be alive in any means necessary. It must be from another plane of existence. So let's fit into it.
Pardon me?
They're pretty much casting banishment on the animated.
Trying to banish the oatmeal.
Basically, they just go up, grab it, and toss it out a window if they can.
Oh, you're trying to banish the oatmeal. Okay, well, first, let me see if it succeeds on its saving throw against the banishment. What does it have to roll for the oatmeal?
Throw.
A charisma saving throw? Oh no. All right. Oh my! Does a 16?
It fails.
Oh, well, that was the best it could have done. Natural 20.
Spell safety save 9.
Okay. You go and you grab the oatmeal and you throw it outside. Oh, I imagine which one of them just does this? Is this Gina?
We'll just say that Tina is the one that casts a spell, but Gina is the one that just goes up and just tosses out one.
So there's a shattering of glass as you watch one of the two of the Tabaxi triplets conspire and then throw the oatmeal out the window. Othgarurt, not Othgarurt. Bobbit, the oatmeal's gone, and Theodorandolus goes, well, I I don't know if it's from another.
It's got to be from like the
has to be from the
elemental
dimension.
plane of meals.
Yeah, it's from the elemental plane of grains.
Would anyone else like to chime in with this?
That's from the material plane.
Oh wait, that was correct. That's actually correct. He goes, oh, yeah. You know what? I'm not even gonna make you roll for that one. And with that, the oatmeal lies outside somewhere in the garden, and your path appears clear. Although there are stains all over the floor, and you've pulled a lot of like silverware and the tablecloth off the table.
Don't worry, everyone. The head maid will take care of it. Yeah.
And so you begin to make your way further up Chateau Bluebeads. You go up twisting, winding staircases, staircases that are perfectly sized for you all in your current, ages being rather young, but I imagine would be a little too large or a little too tight for a full-grown lizard folk in the future. However, as you're going up, you start looking for signs. Theodorandolus says, all right, you have to look for signs. You have to track them down. But yeah. And he looks at you in particular, Nina, Gina, and Tina, and says, and you have to not get caught.
Yeah, Nina, Gina, Tina nod, and they just look to the blink the whole.
Bark?
Yeah,
Or
they
bark?
just like they get the blink dogs to actually go look for clues and like let them know what the
Okay. So I'm going to treat this as kind of like a skill challenge here, where you have to evade being caught, but basically you're looking for clues is what you're doing. If you fail to look to find a clue, that's like one of the people in the house sees you, and if too many people see you, then that means you get caught, and that's bad. Is at least what Theodorandolus has explained it to you. It's I guess it's the Burgle catching on that you're chasing him.
Okay.
So what do you all want to? How are you going to look around? What are your plans?
Well, Gina, Nina, and Tina will probably just for like the sake of trying to not get caught, they're probably going to use ascendant step to levitate to the ceiling.
Okay. So in real life, what on earth is this?
They're probably
Just pretending.
They have cat claws, so I assume they like just
God.
climb up to like where the rafters are and just like walk along there.
Okay, I like it. I'm gonna give you advantage on your check. I think I would like you, because using that feature, I think that's a spell casting check, because you're using your magic, right, to get like a higher advantage and to not be seen. So
Yeah,
can you roll me? Oh,
Yeah, 1 second.
Okay.
Charisma check.
yeah, it's proficient, so be a charisma saving throw
Yeah.
for you, effectively.
All right, 1 moment.
Alrighties, you're looking around. You're looking for signs of the Burgle, and Theodorandolus is kind of explaining it as he goes. He says, it's a terrible, like, I don't know, he's got like wolf legs. And as you're looking around up in the rafters, wolf legs. And you see like a paw print in the dust. All right. Ashwak, what are you doing as part of the skill challenge?
I would just like to look for clues. I now know. I'd like to track this creature.
Oh, okay.
Survival.
So now that you have the footprint that Gina, Nina, and Tina found, you're gonna take that and try and see. All right, where do these footprints go? I love it. Give it to me.
I hit it.
Yeah, Roll20's been real slow this evening. I don't know what's going on. I do know what's going on. There's a lot of people using Roll20 on account of, well, everything going on right now. A 25 survival. Man, y'all are in and out of the park. Yeah, so you start following these footfalls. And as you're kind of doing so, and I imagine everyone's kind of grouped together, right? And this is all in the theater of the mind for these children. But you're crawling around on the rafters, right? And Theodorama, as you're following the footprints, you start to see some swishing in the dust. And Theodorama goes, that's from its lion-like striped tail. And you're following it, up the stairs and down a hallway. All right, Zewxip, would you like to contribute anything to this skill challenge?
Good old-fashioned perception.
Oh, you're just looking around.
Maybe if we're on the trail, then maybe I'm looking around to see if anyone is coming up behind us, or like I'm scouting for the adults to make sure we're not caught, or the others.
Yeah, exactly. So you're just peeking around the corners, just making sure. Because at this point, you're high enough up in in Chateau Bluebeads that you're not supposed to be up this high. Because the windows it's actually like a fall.
Well, that's like at least a 10-minute timeout.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want that. That'll ruin the whole thing. Oh no! So
it's all clear.
You say it's all clear, and right as you do so, 2 of those Chateau Pastry guards turn the corner. It's a close call, but now you can't go that way anymore because you're they've blocked the path. That's 1 failure so far, and I believe 2 successes. Bobbit, what's your contribution? What do you want to do?
Okay, so you said it has like wolf legs, right? And it's got like a striped lion tail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Bobbit will start pulling out just random bones that he brings around from his bag and comparing them and just basically trying to rationalize what kind of a creature this would be and if he has any examples of one so that we could maybe track it better.
It's like a nature check, I think is what you're getting at. Okay. Oh, so I think what happens here is Theodorandulus looks at you and just crosses fingers. No, it doesn't work because it has little fairy wings too and it can fly. And you lose the trail.
Oh man.
And so it's another failure as you're kind of caught up. You hear the guards kind of walking around. They're going to be upon you all soon. Nina, Gina, and Tina, what would you like to do? We're back onto you. You have 2 successes and 2 failures.
All right, so you said can Gina, Nina, and Tina see the guards from the rafters where they're...
Can see what? The guards? Yes.
All right, so they will actually attempt to distract the guards by probably throwing something beyond them.
Oh, the classic, I throw a rock behind them.
Yeah, or something, but not necessarily a rock or anything important, more like just probably cast a spell that makes them that makes them wonder what's going on over there.
Gotcha. So back down the way they had come.
Yeah. Give me a second.
Now, if you're using another spell, I'll tell you the DC will be harder this time, but you can still try it if you'd like. If you're doing the same thing again, it's just a little harder if you try to do the same move more than once.
All right. In that case, I'll probably use I might have something in my actual stuff to throw. Oh yeah, I do. I have plenty of dagger. no, in this case, it's probably just like a plastic knife or something.
Beautiful. It's of course they're daggers, but it's a plastic knife. Yeah. So go ahead and I guess what do we want to call this? Athletics to just toss it. Maybe I think finesse, right? It could be dexterity.
Yeah, I was gonna say daggers already have a throwing range, so.
Yeah. All right.
So
throw the dagger.
Let's see. Definitely not strength.
It'd be an attack roll using a dagger, so I think it would just be proficient dexterity, whatever that is for you.
I'll just roll dagger rolls.
Yeah, that'll work. So you take the dagger and you throw it. Oh no! And it clatters nearby, and you see turning around the corner the three guards, the two guards, and they look at you, and Theodorandolus just yells, "Roll for initiative!" What do you all do?
Do we have to roll for initiative?
I don't know. Theodorandolus tells you to roll for initiative.
No, I'll just do it just for the sake of it.
Okay.
Just for appearance sake, instead of actually going with it, like they'll just probably like kind of find a way to disappear.
Mm-hmm. All right, top of initiative, Zewxip, it's your turn. Theodorandolus yells, "Oh no! It's the minions, the pilfers of the Burgle." Uh-oh. Zewxip, you casted a spell? Ah, you're casting
I'm getting
a spell
both
with
of
charm
them.
Person. Oh, with your height. Oh, a heightened spell and. Oh, right. Interesting. Because you're just casting at a second level, right?
Yeah, per thorns and petals.
Oh, that's very cool. All right, so I get to roll. What are these two saves?
DC 16 wisdom saving throw, or they're going to be charmed by me.
Well, I can tell you this much. They're not hostile to you at all. They're just people walking around here that are maybe a little surprised to see some kids. And this is real magic. This isn't pretending magic. This is real magic you're using. Right? Or is this pretend
there's
magic?
going to be like the penguins from Madagascar are like, you saw nothing.
Okay, let me roll for them. And they roll at disadvantage, right? Because of your heightened spell?
Correct.
Wow. Okay, so this is the first one. Gets a 9, and the second one gets a 10. So the two guards kind of rub their eyes. And once again, these are the dolls, right? The doll-bound guards that part of the collective figures of action here in the city. They're currently guarding the residents here. And yeah, they turn the corner and they see you. And the first question is, what are you doing this high up in the? Oh, hi there. You're a little far from the orphanage. They kind of walk up toward you, Zewxip.
Nuh-uh.
Roll me a persuasion check with advantage. All right, well, just don't get in any trouble. They just keep walking.
You too.
And as they start walking on, you can see Theodorandolus is pissed. Yeah, all right. They walk away, and you see over there, now you have 3 successes. You see there's an open window, and he points to the end of the hallway, and indeed, one of the windows is ajar. And you can see, torn on the windowsill, is a small piece of green fabric. It's from the Burgle's green cloak. What would y'all like to do?
Yeah, Gina and Nina tend to go to investigate the the piece of fabric on the green cloak, and just to see like how far up it is to the next, at least to the roof.
Yeah, as you get over to there, you see, looking out the window, there's the shred of green cloak. Looks like it got torn in the latch, right? It got caught as something was trying to go through the window. You can see that there's a big tree branch, because again, Chateau Bluebeads is basically a giant tree that twists up toward the sky. And yeah, you can see that this huge branch kind of stretches ever upwards and into the pink cotton candy mass that is that forms a cupcake-like canopy of the place. This is your way up. It's just, you look down, and it's actually a far fall. It's a bottomless pit. Theodorandolus declares, "It's a bottomless pit. If you fall, you're gonna die."
So yeah,
And if it's bottomless, we would never hit the ground.
Almost bottomless.
so yeah.
He glares at you, Patrick.
So all right. So all right.
Uh-huh.
All things considered, all right. So there's four considered. Whatever.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have to roll anything.
Yeah. I'm just saying. Considering there's 3 other members. Gina, Nina, Tina. Tina's gonna be the one to actually cast, or supposedly cast, candy fade wings on the rest of them, which would give them flight.
Oh.
Have them get up to the top.
So just like that, you could all fly, and yeah, you all.
It's only I can only target 3 people with it.
Oh, so who are you targeting?
Targeting all my allies, but Gina, Nina, and Tina will be going up using
Marmalade.
They'll be using the teleport ability.
Of the blink dog.
Yeah.
Excellent. So the triplets all hop on the back of the blink dogs. They cast a spell of flight upon you, which I guess is just more of like sprinkles.
It's more of like they put everyone in the net and just in a way kind of carrying them, and just teleport everyone up there at the same time.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, you all can quote unquote fly, and you're gathered up in the net that Gina's carrying. They hop on top of the ethereal Fey Mastiff, and when they blink, you are all teleported up into the cotton candy canopy of Chateau Bluebeads.
By that, do you mean spider webs everywhere?
Spider webs everywhere? Oh, no, I think it is a cotton candy canopy.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Theodore Randallus goes, oh yeah, no, definitely. It's all spider webs as you followed the Burgle deep into its swampy lair.
As long as it's not insulation, that'd be pretty rough.
Yeah. Anyway, Gina, Nina, and Tina, as soon as everyone's up there, will just use the Rod of the Packmaster to gain an additional spell slot back, even though it's just usually just a branch with a very weird little plush on the end of it.
As you make your way, as you just appear up there, you're all kind of in a jumble because you're all just hanging on to this blink dog that teleported up here. You see before you a strange figure. They stand maybe 6 feet tall, somewhat hunched. They have those kind of, what's the term? The legs that go backward, the hyena legs. Man, I can't remember the word for that. Of course, they have a long gray fur and a gray lion-like tail with black stripes. You see they're wearing blue trousers and a green cloak with these tattered purplish fairy wings coming from the back. They have a large burlap sack over their shoulder and a hair like that of a werewolf draping down their back and from their chin, with a gray face like a troll and twisted ram horns. The Burgle looks back at you and snarls. Who even knew that I had come here? And growls, angrily looking at you with its green glowing eyes. I would like you all to roll for initiative.
Just for a sense of scope, is this 6 feet as though we were the heights of our...
No, it's 6 feet as though your height.
Okay, so it's actually like huge.
It's a big. It is a large creature actually. So it's probably actually even bigger than that. This Burgle.
I just mean like in comparison to us, it's like really, really, really big.
Mm-hmm.
So Jeremy, you could post that image just to.
Yeah. I'm gonna post it because Frog. I had told Frog you'd be fighting a Burgle because I didn't think that would be a big spoiler for this because. Well, the spoiler would have been that you're all the kids. But I'm going to post this in the DnDTime Hangout channel right now. It's so cool. A very, very cool image of what this Burgle is that you'll be battling. And actually, I wonder if I can get it up on the stream real quick. We'll see if I can make that work. But I'd like you all to first roll for initiative. And Yeah. Let's get started. Also, an important thing to note in this case, the Burgle is actually there.
Does that
There's
also mean
actually
that-
there's a real monster up here with a burlap sack filled with stuff.
would that burlap sack filled with stuff include a red, a little doll-like hand stick?
It very well may. All right. Oh, Achuak, looks like you're the first to go here. You're ready to beat this Burgle. What would you like to do?
I think Bobbit would actually be first.
Oh, did Bobbit roll even higher? Oh my goodness, Bobbit, you're no. I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna go with you because you got it great.
Okay.
I don't use the dexterity tiebreakers like ever in when I DM.
Okay. I yell at it.
Release the sack.
And I cast blindness on it.
Oh jeez! And you actually cast blindness on it, so it's like a small crack of thunder.
Yeah. Well, it's actually a small, like lightning just appears before its eyes, blinding it. So.
Ooh, I love it. Okay. Just a second. And the last was 9, and that was Zewxip. And I need to roll for the Burgle. Oh, Burgle. All right. What does it have to roll for this blindness deafness?
Con save.
Oh, it just kind of stopped abruptly. I hope that worked. All right, Constitution saving throw. It is proficient in these. It does not have any sort of advantage or anything, though, so it is deafened, right? You wanted it deafened?
Nope, wanted it blinded.
Oh. Well, it's blinded. The crack of lightning before its eyes, and it's got these green, glowing eyes as it looks back toward you. It's like peering over its shoulder now. And yeah, they kind of cloud, and it. What is this? And we go to the next.
Hold on.
Feel the power of the great cloud. Go, Kicky Cloud.
Okay. Oh, natural 20 from the the small kicking cloud. Oh my, wow. That is the most powerful. Wow. That's the most powerful cloud I've ever seen. How much is the total? 27 damage from a spiritual weapon?
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's what happened. The punchy cloud just like hits it in the gut, and it just and coughs up a little blood. A kicky cloud?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does this cloud have like feet that it uses to kick its opponents?
It has a foot that it uses to kick the opponents.
Beautiful. All right, Bobbit, what would you like to do? Everything seems so real right now. It's like you can almost even see the monster Theodore Randall is describing.
Bobbit can actually see the monster, and he doesn't like it. And he's gonna throw an even bigger tantrum because this thing is scary and ugly and gross, and he wants it to go away. So he's gonna throw a frenzied tantrum, I guess we'll call it, because I can't think of a creative way to say that.
I love it. I love it. Bobbit charges forward with probably yelling, and of course the Burgle is currently surprised.
And blind.
And blind, which is probably more important in this moment.
Yeah. Bonk and bonk.
Alrighty. And jeez, the crits for you! Oh, because he's blind, you have advantage on him, and yeah, you'll crit him other time. Holy moly! Whew. Which is really got to be annoying for you because you got to switch your macros over when you crit.
It is a little bit annoying.
I mean, it's a good thing to be annoyed about, though, right? Like if you're.
Yeah.
All right. Oh my God. 42 more damage. My goodness. Bobbit, you run over and just start wailing on this creature.
I mean,
Just, oh, my legs!
58 damage.
Huh?
58 damage total.
Yeah, it was another 42 more damage.
Yeah.
I imagine, like, it's got those legs that kick back, which I gotta remember the name of. But yeah, you just smash it in the knees a bunch, and I imagine in very Red Cappy fashion.
Very much Red Cappy fashion.
Very fitting for the Feywild. Is there anything else that you'd like to do, Bobbit, as you run forward and channel your hero, Othgarurt?
That's everything I can do realistically.
All right, it's the triplets, Nina, Gina, and Tina. What would you like to do?
Well,
Let's see if you recharge your teleport first.
that's 1d6, right?
Yep, just roll a d6. It's back. You've got it if you want it.
All right. Well, we're not going to use that yet. How far are we from the Burgle?
I think it's about 30 feet, and the ground, despite, like, you're on the canopy of Castle Bluebeads, so the ground, like, lifts up to that, like, almost like whipped cream point at the tip top, but you're not quite there yet. You're probably about 30 feet from the Burgle, and it's solid enough, despite being cotton candy, probably because you're also small and so light.
Yeah, well, first things first, Marmaduke doesn't really like this creature, so it just starts barking aggressively.
Oh no. Oh, we gotta turn that off of GM only mode.
Okay, I wonder if I can do that.
It should just have a toggle at the top. I got it. There we go. Go ahead and kick him off. As you use your special ability. Bay of the Marmaduke.
Yeah, there we go. So yeah, that was for the bonus action.
I just want to narrate that for people who don't know what it does off the bat. So the Marmaduke, the Flash Corgi, begins to bark so aggressively at this Burgle that it's kind of like, oh geez, the dog's gonna bite me. And he gets a little startled. He is startled and he has disadvantage on saving throws until the end of your next, or start of your next turn.
Yeah, and as an action, Tina brings forward Nina brings forward that little stick with the flush on top as the rod of the pack keeper, points it at. There it goes. Yeah, it goes and just lets us. No more. You'll still be blinded even after this. And we pretty much cast Wall of Light, but as a floor.
Oh jeez. What does this do? I only have ever seen the spell Wall of Light used in a game, so I'm actually very interested.
Basically, a shimmering wall of bright light appears at a point you choose within range. The wall appears in any orientation you choose, horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. It can be free floating, or it can be rest on a solid surface. It can be etc., and all that. It also, any creature that ends its turn within that light will take 48 radiant damage.
Okay, so he's got to roll save immediately.
Yeah.
All right, I will roll for the Burgle. The Burgle
fails.
Is really your? Oh, give the rod of the backkeeper. Oh,
yes.
Oh, I forgot. That DC's incredibly. All right, so how much is that? It's going to be 48 radiant damage.
Yep. and is blinded for 1 minute as long as he's in the area.
Okay, so he's just. This Burgle's having a really hard time. I will say, Bobbit, this Wall of Light is very close to you.
Saving throw then?
No, because I don't think you're on it, but it's right there in front of you.
Oof.
So you're close. Oh. I'm gonna say that Anadoltia inside the bag is okay. Is not in any danger.
I mean, she's in the bag, so I don't think she actually gets to see all that light.
Yeah, we'll just say that. Can you roll me the damage? Oh, 19, you already did. Oh my gosh, I'm blind. I'm sorry. I'm the one who's blind.
Well, it's even beyond the screen.
Super effective. It breaks the fourth wall. Breaks the fourth wall of light. Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to do, triplets? Or Anadoltia, or Gina, Nina, and Tina, whatever.
That's actually all we can do.
Okay. Well, I mean, that was a pretty good what we can do. Zewxip, it's your turn. What would you like to do? And actually, I realized I should have given him disadvantage on that saving throw.
Burgle, we think you stink. It's time for a bath.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, dear Lord. All right, he's got to roll, what, a strength save?
Yeah.
At least he is strong. 16's the DC. Gets an 8 because of the dog barking. Your watery sphere appears, which, what does this look like for Zewxip? What is Zewxip's casting of watery sphere?
Probably a bunch of water that I'd been, guess maybe part of my provisions. I've been drinking. I sort of just like squirt it out, and it forms into this kind of blurby sphere floating around this thing as it's kind of blorping around in there, and
There's cotton candy just melting all over him. It's all sticky.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's how we're getting the narrative effect of the spell in real life. But of course, to Zewxip, this is a powerful watery sphere.
It looks like when you cannonball into the bathtub, like what you're not supposed to do. But if you could freeze that moment when you're cannonballing, that's what it looks like.
Beautiful. All right, so the Burgle is restrained and blind. Oh my goodness. All right. It's at the end of your turn.
Nothing further from me.
All right. The Burgle will attempt to make an attack. I guess. The only one within melee of him is you, Othgarurt, right? Oh, I'm sorry, Bobbit.
Yes, I think so.
All right, Bobbit, it's going to attempt to make a snatching claw attack on you. Rolls a 9. Critical failure. And it will try one more time, and it'll get a 15 that time.
15 will not hit.
All right. You see it like reaching out with its nasty wolf-like claws, and it's or like they're not like wolfy claws. They're more like just long, sharp black fingernails. It's trying to like grab you, and you can see it's like aiming up. It's got one hand the bag like kind of half open, and you see unconscious Anadoltia within the bag, and he's trying to like shove you into it, but it's just unable to. Because he just can't. I imagine he just can't get a grip on you, right? As you're ducking to and fro, and he's blind as a bat. He's gonna yeah, he like tries to run out, but he can't because he's just stuck with all the cotton candy. Ashuak, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
But before that happens, he takes 48 extra damage because he's still in the.
Oh God! Yeah, go ahead, and give it to me. Oh, this poor Burgle.
I'll just roll with the actual beams of light this time.
Of course. All right, 15 more damage. Jeez, Burgle is looking pretty beat.
He can roll against my blindness if you want.
Oh, great.
He fails.
Oh well, I mean, okay, maybe it was supposed to be Constitution. He still fails. Yeah, not even close.
I saw.
Die for a creature.
And Kiki Cloud.
Okay, Kiki Cloud. Kiki Cloud gets him. The great boot of the cloud hits him for, oh my goodness. Oh, all right, another 37 points of damage, or sorry, 17 points of damage.
Of the great big cloud.
I cast Call Lightning.
Oh, gee. All of a sudden, guys, it's very dark out, and there's like clouds and thunder in the sky.
Well, it's not as dark as it ought because we still have 120 feet bright light.
Yeah, it's not dark around you, but everywhere else it gets very dark. Lightning crashes down. Does he even roll? I think he rolls at disadvantage when he's restrained, right? For dexterity saves. I think it's only paralyzed that makes him auto fail. I'll check it just in case.
I'm already checking.
He actually does save miraculously. Would you like to max out your damage, or are you good with it then?
I'm good for now.
Okay. All right, so it's 13 after resistance.
The creature has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws, and as well as attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage.
Excellent. Thank you guys for looking that up real quick. Bobbit, it's your move as the Burgle is just getting the crap kicked out of him. Just on my knees.
Now it seems like Bobbit's frantic, uncontrolled flailing is getting faster.
Oh Jesus! Slam! Slam! All right, go ahead, Bobbit. Give me the damage as you channel your rage.
For some reason, the macroing on my weapon keeps breaking and like removing the dice value.
That's really weird. Roll20's been having a real hard time with just the number of people that have been using it lately. So hopefully whatever it is just a temporary deal. I'm sure it is. You're gonna hit with all 3 of those, Bobbit. No crits this time, man. I'm disappointed.
I am too, because I have wrath building up.
Oh jeez. Oh right, I forgot about that. Would you like to use your wrath?
Not yet.
All right, so we got. All right. 21 damage from the first attack, 27 damage from the second attack, and oh my goodness,
68 total damage.
All right. The Burgle's looking really bad. One of his legs is clearly broken, and he's sobbing now. Please stop! I can't even say. Gina, what would you like to do?
They all pretty much scream, "Let our mama go!" and then just zap him with just a wall of light beam from the.
What?
Oh, whatever.
Okay.
Oh, wrong one. But
oh God, you can just repeat that on your turn?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, to be fair, that's the wrong roll there. It's supposed to be like an attack roll.
Okay.
There we go.
Yep, you'll hit him. He's blind still. Oh my goodness.
And the wall's length goes down by 10 feet.
All right.
So I can do this 5 more times.
Yeah, you see the Burgle is just like burning up. He's just his clothes are all burning up. His hair is melting. You see his like horns, or his big curled back goat horns are like cracking and starting to like flake off. He looks incredibly bad.
Yeah, I think that's all we could do for our turn.
All right, Zewxip, it's your move.
Okay, maintaining concentration on the sphere. I'm going to look at him as I'm continuing my heroic one-liner / puns. I'm going to look at the bathing Burgle, and I'm simply going to go tickle tickle. I would like to use the effect of gust to make the watery sphere effervescent.
I love it. Okay. I like this a lot. Did you have an intended effect in mind for this? Because I have one in my, I just came up with off the bat that this could have. But if you have an idea, I'm down for that as well.
Oh, I figured that all the bubbles rushing over him could make him laugh, or at the same time, he's also in a sphere of water, which could be kind of bad for him laughing. But I wanted to fill it with bubbles that are swirling and fizzing and.
Okay, can you roll me a spell casting ability check? And we're gonna treat this as this is just how good is your magic. And I think in canon, the real world, how this ends up playing out is one of those packets that you got at some point that you used to mock up your spells. For some reason, Anadoltia had Dust of Sneezing and Choking somewhere, and somehow Zewxip got a hold of it. But the Burgle just starts to just choke, which now he can't breathe because he's in the water. So he's starting to drown. He drops the sack completely. Actually, I should roll a con save for him. No, yeah, he drops the sack and it floats to the ground onto the wall of light and like sets on fire. It just starts burning. Is there anything else you'd like to do, Zewxip?
Not quite grasping the like why people do it. I'll blow on the end of my finger, quote unquote, once more, even though it wasn't a fire.
Beautiful. I love it. All right, the Burgle is like basically dead. He's so close to dead. I guess he can't see still, so all he can do is try and snatch while he drops the bag. All right, the first move he makes, I guess he's gonna just claw. He's just gonna claw wildly at, I guess you, Bobbit, the source of his malcontent. 16 won't get you, and an 11 won't get you. Man, whew. He slashes wildly. Please, Ashwak, it's your turn.
I mean, he's free to roll against my blind if he's.
Oh, you're right. It's Constitution, right?
Mm-hmm.
My sphere as well, if
He's
he wants to
blind.
try and escape.
Yeah, he's still blind.
Oh, and what's that roll? A strength save?
I think he has to make a check to get out of that, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he has to use his action to try and get out of there.
Oh, for the sphere?
Yeah, I don't think he can just roll at the end of his turn. Well, either way, Ashwak, how would you like to probably finish off?
Oh
this?
no, it does get a save. He does get a save.
Aha! What is it? A strength save?
Yeah.
He's not free.
All right.
Jeez, I'm rolling very badly, guys. He's not this bad.
I call more like.
You go into the watery sphere. All right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Uh-huh. All right. Okay. Wow.
I'll max it.
Okay. How much is that?
25.
25 total?
Mhm.
Is that after having?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I was getting. Okay, cool.
And the Kiki cloud kicks him in the stomach.
He dies. The lightning blasts him, and he he just pretty much explodes in the watery sphere. There's just a smear of blood, and then the Kiki cloud just kicks him anyway. And
the power of the cloud.
as the Burgle lies slain atop Chateau Bluebeads, you all, I imagine, rush over to your prize, and Theodorandolos goes, "And you did it! Congratulations, adventurers! Please take your Bartholomew bucks. Good job!" And then he also runs over. That was weird. There's a real Burgle here. He kind of like kicks it a little bit.
You didn't know that the whole time?
I didn't expect there to be a real Burgle.
The power of belief, says Gina.
I'm gnawing on the Burgle's arm.
Okay.
Real Burgle means real Burgle bones. I finally get to see what they look like.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'll strip him for them.
I guess you could say that Burgle's immersion was not ruined. Blow on the end of my finger.
And with that, you check inside the sack, and what you thought was just Anadoltia in the sack, it was just a bunch of dolls that the Burgle had stolen. Burgles are common thieves here in the Feywild. They'll go from place to place pilfering possessions, especially particularly sentimental ones. But of course,
Nina just looked inside and says, "Hey, I was wondering where my gooba doll went."
yeah, it was all Gina's dolls that were stolen. Oh, I'm sorry, all not Gina's dolls, Nina's dolls.
Yeah, Nina.
And as you're all kind of grouped up, you hear a fluttering of wings as Anadoltia herself flies up to the roof, drawn by the sounds of actual lightning striking the roof of Chateau Bluebeads. And she scolds each of you for coming up here incredibly dangerously. However, she also is relieved that you're okay. She helps each of you down, doesn't punish any of you for your adventures, knowing that sometimes kids need to adventure, but she does like triple lock those windows now. And you all return to your safe and comfortable and happy homes here in the Feywild in Chateau Bluebeads. You rest, have a wonderful night's to yourselves, just relaxing and talking about your great stories, your battle with the Burgle, to all of the other orphans who reside here. And Anadoltia even goes so far as to give each of you your requisite salaries as adventurers of 300 fake real Bartholomew bucks that she had earned doing a special extra mission for Bartholomew earlier that day. And so, with that, our adventure comes to
Give
an
me
end.
those Bartholomew bucks and my toes will go back.
And with that, the adventure comes to an end. Some of you mail your Bartholomew bucks to your heroes. Others of you get mugged by Euchaunkas somehow. And thanks for playing this evening. This was I like trying these weird adventures. I appreciate you all hearing me and playing along.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Would any of you like to do any shopping or anything quickly now that our adventures have come to an end?
Do you mind if I flip a virtual coin to see if I want to shop?
Oh, please.
Okay, we'll say on a 2, I'm gonna buy something. All right.
Anadoltia will buy something. Like, having her kids like go through all that, just, I might have to spend something before the Bartholomew shows up.
And you arrive in the shop.
Ah, greetings, adventurers. It's lovely to see all of you. How was your afternoon?
Don't even get started on it. My kids came up to, I got some of my orphans, and my kids went up to the very top of the chateau, and there was some strange creature up there. It looked like a Burgle. I mean, never seen a Burgle wear a green suit before. They usually wear red.
Well, stranger things have happened, I suppose. Are they all the kids okay?
Yes, they are okay. Which,
Oh,
speaking of the kids, you and I need to talk about why you gave Annie a sword.
Requested a sword, and I am honor bound to give anyone who asks for a mundane item that item.
You could have just given her a wooden stick, glamored as a sword.
Nope, if they ask for a sword, I gotta give them a sword.
All right, well, I'll just take a pull from the back.
That we can certainly do. I apologize about that. Just I play by the rules, you know. But go ahead and roll me a D1000, and of course, Frog, I wish you the absolute best of luck. 296. All right.
Not good, but not bad either.
You made it into the main chunk. So you reach into the bag, and this is fun. This has been in there in a long time. Your hand passes over first what appears to be it's a dagger of some kind, and you just feel an overwhelming desire for money as you grab it, and you think maybe this is Bartholomew's and you don't want to mess with it. The next one, it's small, and you think, oh, this might be one of those rings that you kind of have seen around in the past, but it falls from your grasp, and what you end up grabbing in place is a crown. And as you pull it out, connected to it, there's a cape with it, and there's a ring, and all of them are made from interwoven flowers and kind of roses and thorns, and just a very beautiful strengthened rosewood for the ring. And Bartholomew speaks up, this is the rose regalia. It is a set one worn together. It has 3 charges, and you can use one of its charges to cast one of the following spells. You can cast the Charm Person spell with it, the Hellish Rebuke spell with it, or the Warding Bond spell with it. But the spells chosen always will do piercing damage instead of the normal type of damage that they would do. And you've gained the Rose Regalia. And best of luck with it. It's a cool little piece. That was one that was actually made on DnDTime Brews a long time ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who made that item?
I think the community made it together. That particular one, I remember that from one of the really early DnDTime brews. So that's a cool one.
Nice.
Can I get anything for anyone else?
Can I have an anvil?
Done. It slams into the ground near your feet.
Sick, I ate it.
Keep in mind that I will not honor the way that works necessarily in damage. He hands you an ammo. Can I get anything for anyone else?
Hearing no one.
We'll be back soon. Thanks for watching, everyone.